Who's to blame for the rise in violent crime in London? Here in 2018, the murder rate has already surpassed 2017, and the year is not even done yet. Summer is not even done yet. So who's to blame for the crime wave in London? And is youngsters on road to blame? Is the drug trade to blame? Is trap jewel music to blame? Is social media to blame? Is the police cats to blame? Who knows? Have we become a negative society? Glamorizing the violence, obsessed with social media? Are we tired of our youngsters dying on the streets? We need answers. For this week's topic, I brought in an active gang member who goes by the name of Ace, but she's face will not be exposed for obvious reasons. We've also brought in a university student, Kay, and two youngsters, Ballard and Daniel.
There is no which way that you can condone an adult approaching children to sell drugs. No. There is no which way that you can approach it.
Brother, watch your mouth, you know, because you're talking too much, bro. Real talk, you're talking too much, innit? Yeah? So you need to hold your lips. You don't know me, you don't know where I'm from, you don't know my story, nothing, yeah?
He don't understand. He definitely don't understand.
Do you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not from the world.
I've probably been involved for about, I'd say maybe 10 years, since I was about 13. Obviously, growing up from when I was young, I used to see it with the local guys like doing their thing, and what they can do, I can do, innit? So I didn't see anything different between me and them. I started to make my little drinks here and there, and I thought, you know what, it's time for me to do my own thing. Yeah, I've had my setbacks, yeah, I've got in trouble, yeah, I've had shit times, but I've also had great times too, so fuck it, innit? My mum's happy, I'm happy, yeah, she ain't happy, I'm doing what I'm doing, but she's living well, innit? Bills are paid and she's eating nice, so, you know what, I can't really care what anyone else thinks.
Well, you know what, really and truly, I ain't even on the road that no more. I've got my little runners, to be honest. Keep it simple, keep it off. Let me tell you, if I get caught, it's long. It's a whole chain of reaction. But if these little boys get caught, oh, it's a slap on the wrist, quick 2-3 years, you know. So just keep it simple, innit?
Why would you even put your brother, for a start, why would you put your brother in that position? And Ace, I'm sorry, my bro, no beef and that, yeah? But if I was your dad or your mum, I would slap you down. Say you're gonna put your little brother in that position to be shot in, and you can't even sit on camera with bare face. You have to wear ballet. That's how deep it is. You're such a bad man, you have to wear ballet. Real gangsters don't have to wear ballet.
You know what? The kids, they see the life. They want to live the life. They do what they're told. They don't argue. Not much questions. They get paid. They go home. Happy days.
I said this. There's always been this, you know, violence and stuff, street violence that's going on in London. But I do feel like the age has got younger. That's one thing that's definitely something that I've noticed is that there's younger kids getting involved in this madness, and I do believe that's got a lot to do with social media. I don't necessarily think it does have as much to do with music as people are saying it. I think kids are doing this stuff and they're making music about it. I don't think it's vice versa. I don't think they're making music about it and going and doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? They are talking about what they're living or what they're seeing or what their people next to them or around them are living and seeing. And I think it's messed up, man. And I do believe that it is getting to the point where we're going to see, 10, 11-year-olds stabbing and shooting each other. It's getting to that point because nothing's being done. As much as people are like, oh, this needs to change and that, I don't really actually see any real change.
No, do you know what it is? No, what I was going to say, right, is that at the end of the day, a child is a child, and a child will be led in the way that a child is led. So for me, if a child's outside on the road at a youth club, that's that child's business. But for a big man to approach them and ask them to do something for them, that's where it becomes whack. I think that's pathetic. Like for you to go, nah, blood, that's nuts. It's pathetic, really and truly. And do you know what it is? I think that if you're going to do something, do it with your whole heart. If you want to be a drug dealer, you be a drug dealer in the worst case scenario. But for you to then bring other people on board, you're corrupting people. You're not doing it yourself. You're bringing other people on board, and these are children. Children, whether they think so or not, children can't often think for themselves. So when, it's not even about being from a broken home, in my opinion. If you are offered an opportunity to earn 100, 200, 300 pounds a week, whether you're from a broken home or not, from a child's point of view, they're not seeing it as 300 pounds, they're seeing it as, oh damn, I can get the new Xbox, I can get this, I can get the new trainers. So I think that there's drug dealers, they're a real threat, they're a real risk, because there's no question that they can corrupt children by simply saying, do you want to earn £100 a week? That's just, it's unparalleled, that will corrupt a child. Of course, what child would say no? Because the way how they frame that story isn't, okay, you're going to be running drugs. It's you're going to be earning £100 a week to do something simple. To do something simple. And it's always simple until it goes wrong. And then when it goes wrong, then where's that person? Nowhere to be seen.
But the thing is, again, like what we're saying, so this is what I'm saying though, because what we're now we're getting into a debate around the acts, but it's not the acts, it's what's causing the acts.
The solution is to look at what Ace was saying. Look at why there are these kids that are so vulnerable. Look at where they're coming from. What can we do to make them less vulnerable, so that people like Ace and others don't have the chance, the opportunity to offer them these opportunities to get into the drug trade and stuff like that. We have to look at that. Why are there kids out there at 14, 15, 16 on a street corner with no parents around them? You know what I'm saying? Why are they so starved of money or food and stuff like that they feel that that's the only way that they can provide for themselves? We need to look at that. That's the solution. Finding out why that's happening and rectifying it. You know what I'm saying? It's not black and white, but that's what we got to do.
It's the same thing.
Listen, I started, I come from where I come from. I done what I done. I started early. Yeah.
So you must fuck up somebody else's life.
It's not fuck up. It's not fuck up because they're big enough to say no. I think it's a joke, really and truly. Like, you talk about me being a predator, this, I'm just helping these kids, and it's just because it's illegal. If it was legal, if I had a legitimate drug dealing business, what would you lot call me then? Would you say I'm a social person that helping all the kids, like, and taking them off the road and buying them food and looking after them, making them feel comfortable? Yeah, because my kids, they don't feel abused and victimized and this and that. They know what they're signing up for. Bigger the risk, bigger the reward, innit? Yeah, and drug dealers are not to blame for the violence, because you don't hear this cartel killed this cartel in England. You're hearing it's happening on the road, it's happening in the States, it's happening at parties. Yeah, it's happening on the streets over dumb fiddle faddles. Yeah, more or less gang business than drug dealing business.
But then can you see what's happening here now? Because what's happening is you're talking about, from your perspective, it's messing up. From your perspective, it's positive. Because from your point of view, what you see is these kids want something to do, so I'm giving you something in the here and now. I think what you're talking about is in the long term. That's why I'm saying there's truth in every narrative. But from this perspective, it is a positive. But I think there's a lot of issues and a lot of holes and a lot of kind of stuff inside within the youth community. A lot of holes, a lot of kind of emotional malnutrition. And I think the whole instant gratification, the appeal for making money, I think that's kind of the appeal for kids. You're dealing with kids that are trying to search for feeling significant, and within the bigger system, a lot of them are feeling insignificant. You are living in a society now where consumerism is pushed at us everywhere. If you don't have this, if you don't own this, if you don't have this status, you're nobody. Social media, main media, advertisement. So if you've got an easy way to make money, then for a lot of young people, it's a no-brainer for some of them.
No, but hold on, there is no which way that you can condone an adult approaching children to sell drugs. No. There is no which way that anybody...
So the question is... So when this youth is flossing, yeah, some of my boys are on job, flossing, yeah, stunting on you and your people, how you gonna feel? You know what I'm saying? That's a positive outcome.
Getting out of hands, like, innocent kids are dying for no reason. They don't do anything, but because they're walking on someone else's turf or area, they just get killed.
I got plans, I got goals, innit? Like you said, everyone has aspirations, innit? So once I have my shit in order and my stuff running properly, things can change, innit? They can't put no time limit on anything. If I'm winning, why am I gonna stop winning?
I don't feel like the music influences kids to do things, but it does glamorize things that shouldn't be glamorized. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying about the whole thing of stabbing and shooting and stuff, is that in music and in media, it's portrayed as being really easy and cool. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's making people go out and do it, but when people are doing these things, I don't think there's anything showing them the seriousness of it. You never see somebody in a music video, you know, when you see someone get stabbed, you never see the bit where they've got a shit pipe in them and they're in a hospital with pipes and tubes sticking out of them. No one ever shows you that side of it. You know what I'm saying? No one ever shows kids the realities of what that actually is, you know? So I feel like, yeah, if you are making those kind of films, music videos, maybe you need to express the realities of it, not just the glamorous, yeah, I was in the whip and I had the strap on me. Do you get me? Like, you've got to show both sides of this, you know?
Do you mean do something with your life, innit? Like, if you're gonna shot, as I said, if you're gonna shot, yeah, come out the game as soon. Go in the game to come out as soon as possible. You start early, yeah, to flipping come out early. You don't just stay in the game, shotting all your life. When you're 50 years old, you're still shotting. That doesn't make no sense.
Obviously, I care about my money, but I care about my kids. I care about my team, innit? And if you're part of my team, then I'll care about you. But really and truly, if you're not, then I don't.
That needs to be a school that is.
Brother, how are you going to teach them that? You going to answer for that one, huh?
At the end of the day, what would stop is if you stop coming in and telling people different things. Because at the end of the day, no, hold on.
If you're around 14, 15, 16, then you're, as far as I'm concerned, you're old enough to make your own decisions. And if you want to come join the squad, join the squad.
I think it's all for the money, to be honest. Because they see other people with better clothes, everything better than them. They're like, someone approaches them, they're like, oh, here's my opportunity to get money. And then they go for it. They do what they need to do. But it's not legal, but they do it.
You're talking too much, innit? Yeah? So you need to hold your lips. You don't know me, you don't know where I'm from, you don't know my story, nothing. Yeah? You stick to your 9 to 5, you stick to your life, yeah? You live that lifestyle, that £7.50 wage lifestyle, you go do that, innit? Yeah? Yeah, don't watch me, don't watch me and watch I do with these kids, innit?
Something alright? Something alright, yeah?
Obviously, like, there's cameras and that, man is behaving like he's big bollocks because there's cameras in it. I'm not going to be silly in that part. Really and truly, he's coming from a totally different perspective, innit? I don't really care. I don't really care. He's just chatting shit as far as I'm concerned. Just chatting shit, like, he don't understand. He definitely don't understand.
Do you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not from their world, but I'm not stupid. So I know people around that world. I've seen enough, it sounds pompous, but I've seen enough documentaries talking about people from that world. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to directly view from the world. If I was from that, because the argument they're trying to hit me with is, if I was from that world, the fact that I'm not from that world means that I can't understand. But it's because I'm not from that world that I can understand. Because I'm not trapped into looking at the same thing you're looking at. I can see from an overarching point of view. I can say, this is what you lot are following, the path that you lot are doing. But I'm not in that lifestyle, so I'm able to cultivate a different sense of ideas. I wasn't trapped from a young age trying to fight for my own survival. Therefore, I'm able to look back on it and say, hold on a minute, because I didn't have to fight for reputation or fight to be significant, I can look back into this lifestyle and say, hold on a minute, this is what you guys are doing and this is how I have effectively left the system for that basis. I don't live down here, I didn't live down here, I grew up in Norwich. So therefore, I'm able to see two parts of the same coin. Being brought up in Norwich, being raised in Norwich allowed me to understand, hold on a minute, there is other systems out there, or other worlds, other places that you don't have to value reputation to win. So somebody said earlier, right, it falls down to a broken home. So if he come from a broken home, then that's the issue. He needs to check himself because he's come from a broken home.
Right, but what I'm saying is, listen,
real talk, yeah? It's not know me.
It's what I'm saying.
You don't know me, bro. You don't know me, bro. Can't be carried on like that.
That's the issue. Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Because you can hold yourself to a higher standard, bro. Hold yourself to a higher standard, bro. Hold yourself to a higher standard, bro. Look at you.
You're just lucky, bro.
You're trapped. You're trapped. I am lucky because I do my thing. I do my thing.
Stop it, you know what I'm saying?
We're trying to have a conversation and debate this, innit? We're not trying to have a
I hear that, but you know what? Listen. Don't let tight jeans or sunglasses confuse you. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a dickhead. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna allow somebody that I don't know to step up to me. People like that are like that. They push their own selves only because they're used to that reaction. They're used to being the dangerous one. So they think they can act and do whatever they want to people, but that's not how it goes. It's just not like so. how I feel about it, it wasn't. I expected it. I did expect it, but I needed to make it clear, especially in front of the kids. Like, cool, you're a drug dealer. Cool, you're a bad man. Alright, cool, you make money. But even though that's the case, you can't step to me though. I'm trying to show these children. I'm trying to said to me earlier. They're saying, bro, trying to hit front of you. I'm about actions speak louder than words. So for me, they saw that I disagreed. They saw that he very much agreed. They also saw that he agreed so much he's ready to fight for it, and they saw that I disagreed so much I was prepared to fight for it. So there's always two sides of the same coin.
Bro, that guy's a prick, bro. He's a dickhead. I'm telling you now, he's a prick. He's a fuckboy. He's a pussy. He's the dickhead. He's the coward, bro. Yeah, he's trying to act bad because his camera's here, this and that. He wouldn't say that to my face on road, innit? On road, behind them doors, I'm telling you, it'll be a different scenario. It'll be a different picture. It'll be a different scene. Yeah? He's lucky I was that patient on all my life.
On the fact that they started fighting and that the way that he reacted, yeah, that is the type of stuff that's gonna negatively affect debate and conversation. That's the type of behavior we need to get past. Even if you are in that lifestyle, when we're having these kind of conversations, you have to communicate. Communication is the only way we're ever gonna, and understanding where everyone's coming from, the only way we're ever gonna rectify these issues in society.
I wasn't surprised that Ace, with Ace reacting like that, because in my head, from the get-go, I felt like K, his points and opinions, although carried a lot of truth in it, was very black and white, and it was almost although he had some points to say, he wasn't willing to acknowledge what Ace was saying. And I think from Ace's point of view, dent in ego. I mean, you know, the streets is all about holding that pride, and if anyone's gonna come to you on a level, you're gonna do something about it. And I think Ace was being attacked intellectually by K. So it was only gonna be a matter of time before I reacted, you know.
You know my stance. My stance is that it's just wrong. I just don't believe that they've got the right to approach children and almost corrupt them because they've had a bad childhood themselves. But following the charade, I was talking to some of them, and not the lad, but talking to some of them, and they educated me. They were telling me about the fact that it's not just black and white. There is other ways to look at it, but I still believe that I just can't see past the fact that there's other ways.
Although everybody feels that what they've got to say is the right thing, I think what we have to acknowledge is the scale of the problem, and I think we have to kind of respect that everybody has got a truth, and rather than spending time telling people that they're wrong, I think we can all learn something from saying, you know what, I don't understand how you've got from A to B. I don't agree with it, but this is how I will get from A to B. Why are you getting from A to B in that route? And take time to understand it, and it's quite an uncomfortable thing. I think at the moment, a lot of people, if they hear a narrative that they don't agree with, they shut it down. But then 10 years later, we're then having the same discussions. Maybe if we don't shut down these discussions, we might learn something that in 5 years' time, we can address it properly.
It doesn't, you know, if you're out there trapping or doing whatever you're doing now, you don't have to be a bad person. Do you know what I mean? Just because you're trapping doesn't mean you have to be an evil guy. And if you are doing them kind of things there, like, I don't encourage it, I don't condone it, but have a target, set yourself a goal, get out, because it's not forever, it can't be forever. You're gonna get there, you're gonna die. That's how it's gonna happen, you know? And for the people that are not living that life, do you know what I mean, and don't wanna live that life, don't judge other people on the way that they're living. You know what I'm saying? If you can help. If you can offer a perspective different to them, offer them that. But don't ever sit there and point your finger at somebody when you don't know where they're coming from. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the type of thing that's gonna happen. You're gonna get people's backs up. Do you know what I mean?